will take on 2-seed Kentucky today. An ACU coach, Joe Golding's fashion choice might have fans split down the middle. Say, what?
I ripped my pants. So I get back to Abilene. I haven't got my bonus yet either. I just found out I don't get that till June 1st, I think. So I heard somebody's going to start a GoFundMe page. I'd appreciate it, any help I can get. But we got one suit place in town. That's it. One suit place. They couldn't get it done. I guess you got to alter and do some stuff. So I got one suit, my man. I had two suits when the year started. I left one in the airport. True story. Had to go to when we played Nicholls State and buy a suit or khaki pants and a shirt. I'm coaching tomorrow in my baby blue suit, and I'm gonna have a hole in my butt.
Literally love this man. I love that man because that's about as honest as it'll get.
Coach Cal got to hook him up, right? He's got more suits than any.
Coach Cal is the opposite.
He's got more suits than any coach in college basketball this side of Jay Wright.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say Jay Wright also.
You know Coach
Nick,
Cal.
when I met you, did you have a suit?
Oh, come on, man.
He didn't have a jacket.
Hold on.
No, wait a second. Wait a second.
Hold on.
How many suits did you have when I met you?
A ton because of my wife's business. Now, I didn't wear them often, but I had, what? See? What? Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, winter coat. You didn't have a winter coat.
I didn't have a coat. That's correct. No, I didn't have a coat to wear on television, walking anywhere. Cris, one of the first things he did for me. He comes in, he's
I know
like,
you weren't doing a sports coat doing radio.
They got it.
I don't know if this is the truth.
It's the truth, but you did get me a suit coat, like a winter coat. That is true. I'd never owned one. I appreciate you, see?
All right.
Been helping me out for years now.
So altruistic. Stories to start your morning now. Dwayne Haskins participated in Ohio State's Pro Day yesterday. Projected to be the second quarterback taken in this draft after Kyler Murray. See, where would you like to see Haskins end up?
Man, I believe he's going to be successful no matter where he goes. The Giants, you can take him. You cannot scout him and not take him. All right, Dolphins can take him. Because I believe their wide receiving core is a lot better and explosive than the weapons that they have with the Giants. So I like those two destinations. So Giants, do your homework. All right, you want a quarterback of the future? Born and bred in Jersey. It's hard to do it, man.
He wants to be in New York. It would make sense for him to be not a quarterback that doesn't start day one because he had such limited experience. Giants sitting there at 6. The Jets have told the whole world that third pick's up for grabs, man. Move up, make a New York trade, move up to 3, take Haskins. That's where I'd like to see him. It's where he wants to be and would give the Giants a real plan.
All right, to the NBA now. Good news, James Harden had 57 points last night. Bad news, James Harden still lost. Rockets fell to the Grizzlies in overtime. Nick, despite the loss, how impressive was this game from Harden?
I mean, Harden was simply spectacular. 57, and it's just like, oh, yeah, of course.
Crazy.
I mean, he had 25 in the first half, and I thought when I saw the halftime line, oh, he might get 50. No, how about 57? He hit 3 free throws to force overtime. Really tough call with 0.1 left in overtime that cost the Rockets this game. But, man, every game matters right now. The Rockets, they rested Eric Gordon. They're like, oh, we're playing the Grizzlies. Okay, yeah, half game up now on Portland in the West, so every game matters, but a great job by James Harden.
The most impressive thing, Jenna, was for the last 6 to 8 weeks, everyone was saying, man, can he keep up this pace? People aren't asking that question now. All right, we're in the middle of March, and homeboy rolls in 57.
Yeah.
James Harden, this is one of the most impressive scoring seasons that I have ever seen.
All right, finally, Celtics and Sixers last night. Sixers hadn't beaten Boston yet this season. Jump to the third quarter. That guy right there, Joel Embiid, watch him, gets by Jason Tatum, finishes the N1. He had 37 points, 22 boards on the night. Big energy, getting the crowd involved. Less than a minute to go, tied game. Ben Simmons hits the layup and the foul shot. Down 3 now, next possession. Kyrie Irving driving, denied by Joel Embiid. Guy loves his defense. Then Jimmy Butler nails the jumper with less than 6 seconds to go. That puts Philly up 5. Celtics led by double digits most of the first half in this one, but the Sixers win it. 118-115. Nick, how important was this win for Philadelphia?
Biggest one of the season for the Philadelphia 76ers. Locks up the 3 seed for him, which is critical in the Eastern Conference. Gives you a first-round matchup where you will be a heavy favorite, and it guarantees they will not have to play the Boston Celtics in the playoffs unless both teams make it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Despite the win last night, Boston is a bad matchup for them. There's a reason that Boston going into this game had won 10 of the last 12. It swept the season series. That Boston presents a lot of problems for them. And if they had lost, they would be in the danger zone. They'd be only 2 up on Boston. Boston obviously would have the tiebreaker, having swept the series. So an enormous win, and the way they won. Obviously, Embiid was dominant, but how about Jimmy Butler? 7 points through 3 quarters, and then did what he needs to do. He was their fourth quarter answer with 15 in the fourth. This was a critical win for Philly. They're not going to get to the 2 line, but now they guarantee themselves they won't fall to the 4 line. Their best win of the year.
I thought it was important, of course, for the obvious reasons, because of the way Boston has dominated them, but the style for which they're going to play. Joel Embiid talked about it after the game. My goal around here is to score as many points and keep the team in it. Jimmy Butler's going to be our closer. As you saw, the coach, what he did last night was he took the ball out of Ben Simmons' hand as far as running the offense late, put the ball in Jimmy Butler's hand, and allowed him to have that type of quarter. So for me, what I like is you need to have some confidence. You can't say, oh, we're better than them, but Boston keeps beating you. Right. But the style for which they win. Joel Embiid was a beast last night. Missed his first free throw, then made 20 free throws in a row. That's why, he's such a special player. But closing it out with Jimmy Butler, it's keeping that style. Now, these last 10 or so games, continuing to work on that. Joel Embiid attacking in the first 3 quarters and Jimmy Butler finishing out. That's why I thought it was important last night for the style for which they got the win.
You mentioned 10 of 12. Sixers beat the Celtics just the 4th time in 25 meetings, to give that a little context. Why does this Celtics team give the Sixers fits like this?
Embiid talked about after the game, Horford does typically guard him well. It wasn't the case last night. Additionally, the Sixers' biggest weakness is their depth, and the Celtics have a lot of depth, and I think the Celtics have a decided coaching edge. But they're not going to have to worry about him again. They're not going to play the Celtics again this year. I don't think Celtics are making the Eastern Conference Finals, and that's now the only place they can play each other. So if the Sixers also make it to the Eastern Conference Finals, for the Celtics, just like I said, this guaranteed the 3 seed for Philly. This now guarantees that Boston is in that 4-5 matchup, whether the 4 or the 5 against Indiana.
Yeah, it's a tough matchup for them, because Boston, with Kyrie on the point, and I'm not here just to bang on Ben Simmons. He's a good defender, but he can't guard Kyrie. So you can't take advantage of the defender that he is, because he's going to be on someone else. And you can't hide J.J. Redick. All right, Philadelphia has a weak bench. Boston's a lot deeper than them. And J.J. Redick, he is a mismatch going against anyone. And the Celtics typically like to find him on that offensive end going against him. So that's been one of the big reasons, because you can't hide him. And Ben Simmons, when he's guarding against Kyrie, they do so much pick and roll, you can't take advantage. Typically, Ben would be able to negate or slow down all the other point guards in the Eastern Conference. But he can't do that with Kyrie. It's just not a matchup that is favorable for Philadelphia.
And go ahead, Jen.
I was going to say, we talk so much about teams now getting ready for this playoff push, getting ready to go with the Warriors and whatnot. The Sixers last night looked like a team that had the energy, the wherewithal, the right mindset to get ready to head into the playoffs. It seemed more so than the Celtics did, even though the Celtics were dominating in the first half.
Celtics are in trouble. They've been the 5th seed all year long. At some point, people are going to start to believe they're the 4th or 5th best team in the conference. Marcus Morris was one of the best stories of the team up until New Year's Day. He was getting 50% from the field, 45% from 3 from Marcus Morris. Since then, 40% from the field, in the low 30s from 3. Was Jaylen Brown play last night? I know he was out there in the box. What did he do? How about Jason Tatum last night having an impact? And Marcus Smart, listen, when Aaron Baines is already hurt, and Marcus Smart's one of their key players.
Yeah, that was a huge storyline.
You can't get yourself kicked out of the game.
Right.
It's a critical
Brad
game for you guys.
Stevens said that afterwards, too. He couldn't have cut himself.
And it wasn't one of those, a guy's going up for a layup and you foul him too hard and the refs give you a weak flagrant 2. You know you're getting kicked out when you do this. The only question is, will he be suspended? That was enormous, because when you were talking about Ben Simmons guarding Kyrie, with Marcus Smart off the court, they don't have a great answer for someone to guard Ben Simmons. Late in the game, Ben Simmons gets the and one to give him the lead. The Marcus Smart's mistake was huge, and the Celtics are who they are. They're a good, not great team. Like that's who they've been all year long. And Kyrie had a lot of points, 12 of 29 from the field, even though he came in fresh because Rozier was playing at the beginning of the 4th. It's a tough loss for Boston.
All right, Sixers avoid the season sweep. They beat the Boston Celtics 1